So this is a very different video than what I'm sure a lot of my newer viewers are used to. But if you're a bit of an older viewer, you'll know what this video might entail. When I bust out the TF2 gameplay, things get a bit serious. I want to make this video as concise as possible, just so I can get all the information out there, and so I could just be, done with him, really. And I will state this multiple times, the reason that this video was not to dig up old drama, quote unquote, but to update the information that I have now gained, and also add some new ones that should have been in the older videos, but just weren't. And yes, I have made videos on the past on him, and so has my friend Jared or SpongeGar. I'll link those in the description. Those will basically set up what I'm doing here, and will give you an idea of who Tucker is as a person before we even start this. It also, a lot of context for what I'm talking about is in those older videos, so go ahead and give them a watch if you haven't already. Without further ado, I'll introduce Mr. M here. He's had a lot of allegations thrown against him, and whatever I talk about today, I will prove with evidence, that in the form of screenshots, video clips, or testimony from people who knew him. So without further ado, let's jump into the first topic of discussion. Even back during the original drama in 2021, it was exposed by multiple witnesses that Tucker made inappropriate contact with multiple minors. When he was 14, he got nudes from an 11-year-old and sent them to a person who didn't want them. This is called transmitting child pornography. Regardless of age, this is a crime. And depending on where you live in America, you could be added to the sex offender registry list if you're 14 years old or older, which Tucker was at the time, which he even admitted himself. He would force some of his friends to send nudes, and I say forced because the person who this happened to confirmed they were coerced into sending nudes by him. According to the witness, he even said, quote unquote, "If you don't send nudes, I'm leaving you and you'll be all alone," end quote. This is quite simply manipulation. Keep in mind, this person was around 12 years old. Tucker was 14. Another tidbit, I'm unsure if it's maybe the same person or someone else that Tucker had relations with, but at some point he dated a girl when she was 10 and he was 14, and then tried to cover it up by saying he was 13 to make it sound better. He's trying to twist and manipulate the facts to fit his narrative. A separate incident happened when Tucker flirted with someone's friend who was around 9 to 10 years old at the time. He was, quote, being really flirty with her, end quote. Anything I just mentioned here happened around 3 to 4 years ago, but that doesn't make it right. Tucker knew better than to exploit these young girls who didn't know what they were doing. He did this with malice intent, not with a weird sort of curiosity. Fast forward to when he's 18 and he posted a video where he defends lolly characters. Obviously this is kind of trivial when compared to what he's done to real people, but it'll make sense in a moment. In this video, which uses a clip from Moist Critical, he describes, quote unquote, his opinion on lolly and stupid sexual anime weeb shit like that. I'll play the clip now.
First of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that have existed for 2 millennia, but they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things.
He actually deleted this video, but I have proof that it existed at one point due to this screenshot, which just so happens to go through his entire description, where he goes on to defend Lolicon and says it's not that bad because it's fictional. He also says he doesn't consider it CP, but the government does. And I can prove that this happened after he turned 18, because if we look at the bottom of the screenshot, he talks about the Meat Canyon situation. If you're unaware, Meat Canyon was getting canceled because of an animation he made where Tom Brady and his son were making out. It's a really gross animation, and it was made for shock value, but because he talked about it in this screenshot, it proves that he was 18 when this happened, because for those unaware, Tucker turned 18 in December of 2023. Meat Canyon's situation happened just over 2 months ago. You're really bad at deleting evidence, dude. Get better at it, please. I think it speaks for itself, really. Correct, it's not real, but these characters are drawn to look like children. Some of them are actually children in the show. I don't give a shit what the fan wikis say their real ages. A lot of the times they're sexualized by the freaks of the community, and depending on where you look from the damn show itself. He admitted himself that he thinks it doesn't matter if they look young because they aren't real. In the description of the video, he tries to salvage some form of a point. He declares that he isn't into lolly, but thinks they are fine so much as they don't depict IRL children. Oh, what's this? It's an article saying that lolicon is actually a crime in the United States. This makes lolicon not right by a legal standpoint. Also, by his logic, so long as the child isn't real, you can draw the characters from your favorite kid show doing unspeakable acts. Because apparently, to Tucker, so long as they aren't real, it doesn't matter, even if their age is stated clear as day. Anyway, I'm sure you see what my point is. With all this evidence saying he's dated children 4 to 5 years younger than he was when he was 14 to 15, and the fact that at 18, he posted a video where he defends lolly characters a little too much, it's not a good look. Oh, and he also defended a pedophile in his friend circle. Yeah, that's also not a good look. But hold on a second, look closer at the screenshot. Wow, Whiskit's dating minors Again? That's an interesting term. Oh look, it's the definition of again. Another time, once more. That means this has happened more than once. But in a stream, Tucker denies that Whisket is a pedo.
And by the way, I want to dispel the rumors right now. Despite what I said, it was a huge misunderstanding. Whisket is not a pedophile.
But in these screenshots I have, we have the person who he was dating saying Whisket's age, saying their age, and both of them admitting they were dating. Tucker knows as much as I do that Whisket's a pedophile, but he's defending him. And if anyone tries to say, oh, what if he didn't know? He would've. They were dating for around a month when this screenshot was taken. There was no room for error. Whisket knew, which made him a pedophile, and Tucker knew he was one and defended him. His defense was that it was a misunderstanding.
Despite what I said, it was a huge misunderstanding.
Wow, I guess it was a misunderstanding how he dated a 15-year-old at 18 for around a month. Must have been a slip-up. Oh, what a goof. What a jolly good gaffe on that one. With the same screenshot I looked at earlier with Tucker being flirty with an elementary schooler while he was about the age of an average high school freshman, to put it in a slightly better perspective, the person who was telling us about this talks about his manipulative tendencies. That word puppet has been used to describe how Tucker thinks of his friends by a few people that used to be close to him. And hearing about what he's done to people to get his way, it's crystal clear that he just doesn't care. He only sees his friends as a means to an end. If Tucker has a want, he manipulates his friends into giving him what he wants, regardless of age. Then this person goes on to say if he apologizes for something, he doesn't mean it. He only wants people to trust him so he can get dirt on them. Even more manipulation. This is far from the first time he's used manipulation to get what he wants. He's levied his own suicide to get his way multiple times to multiple people, including Whisket himself. Also, to refute the few of you that might be thinking to yourself, he was 14, he was a kid, he didn't know any better. All of this evidence about his manipulations goes to show that he knew exactly what he was doing, which is why him being 14 at the time is no excuse. He knowingly manipulated people into doing and giving things to and for him multiple times. There is no excuse, and there is no refuting that he is manipulative and has been for years. And because he's trying to brush the fact that Whisket's a pedophile, he's still doing it to this day. This one there isn't much to say on. Of course he's racist. Oh, and he also said the N-word in a video that is still public to his channel. Now, I'm playing this clip uncensored to not kind of dampen the impact of what he's said, so there will be uncensored slurs going forward in this video. Just a warning, if you don't like hearing them, you might want to skip past.
Yo, man, why does every Pikachu in my family have to be a fucking chef, nigga?
Yo, where the fuck is the fried chicken, my nigga?
Wow. Talk about killing two birds with one stone, the stereotype and the slur in the same sentence. He apparently said the N-word on a constant basis, had drama with apparently 3 different black people, and referred to someone as a black twat. Oh, and there's of course this image. Warning, it is wildly offensive, like on multiple levels. It's almost amusing how much his hatred for those different than him is so apparent. This one, next to dating younger girls and defending a pedophile, has the most evidence to back it up, and all of this evidence comes from his own brain and his own channel. To start, in his about section, he uses the phrase built like a dead name when talking about his old YouTube channel name, and bringing it up with people a part of the trans community. They had the same reaction as me. This is a very inappropriate use of the term. In a video named Not Holding Back Special Announcement, he talked about 10 controversial topics he wishes to cover in future videos. The thumbnail implies him coming out as trans, and he even points this out in a comment, but it was a lie. Truly a stretch of the imagination. He not only brings up MAPS, minor attracted persons, and calls them disgusting. Well, I agree, but it's kind of like watching Ronald McDonald telling you not to eat at McDonald's because it's unhealthy. Kinda shot himself in the foot with that one. He also brings up trans people and his, quote, experience with them, end quote. Now this part could realistically mean anything, but considering the video is talking about controversial topics that he himself wants to make videos about, I can almost guarantee it's not going to be good. Makes fun of people for pronouns, calls them mentally ill, and describes pronouns as a fucking illusion, despite having them listed clear as day on his channel. Dude, at least be a bigot with some consistency. Says the F slur in a video. Faggot! Refused to call someone by their preferred name because he didn't, quote, respect them, end quote. The list just goes on from there. Genuinely too much to mention in this video. Truly deplorable stuff all around. Wait, I was about to wrap up the video, but Tucker then decided to reply to my teaser video in the comments, replied to my comment about his deal on his response video, made an Instagram post about it, and posted me on his story twice. And Jared once. Tucky Bear, if you like me so much, why don't you just say so? I make one teaser video and he starts actively crashing out. And even Shitskit got involved. Oh man, you really shouldn't have commented, cause this you? Not cause, no, this is you. Because if you look in actually your Discord bio, at the time, you actually advertised that you were dating this person, which is actually crazy. Ugh, rough stuff. Regardless of his boyfriend's attempt at damage control, I gotta say his video is one of the worst responses I've ever seen. And it's just to the teaser. So this would be where I would talk about the reaction to my teaser and breaking it down, and I did actually record all of that, but it looks like he took down the video and the story posts he made about me. So unfortunately, that section is not going to be in this video, just because it doesn't make sense to critique it when I don't have the video in front of me to reference to. It'd just be me talking kind of into the void. I will point out a few things. Number one, he never directly disproves any of the statements or any of the screenshots provided in the actual teaser video. He does a lot of petty insults because he just physically can't resist, and also he had nothing else to say, so he just filled it with petty insults. So yeah, I can't really examine it. I still do have the footage in case I do end up finding the video, but yeah, just know that there was a reaction to my teaser video where he ridiculed me, but failed to provide substantial evidence to disprove any of the screenshots that were in my video. I do have a couple screenshots proving the video did exist at one point, but obviously I can't exactly use that to fill the entire video. I'll put him on screen now, and you can see he's very, very petty. You used petty insults to fill your video because you didn't have any substantial evidence to refute any of my claims. And there was a reason to remind people about you, because you haven't changed, and you've shown no evidence of changing. In fact, looking back at your Instagram, whenever you've had a bit of drama, you've posted about it multiple times on your socials. You just can't get enough of it. Also, it's not drama. It's you being a piece of shit. A drama is a back and forth. There's no back and forth. It's me covering things that you did. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, but I didn't force people to send me nudes when they were comfortable, refuse to call someone by their preferred name because I, quote, didn't respect them, make a video using the F slur in it, make a video using the N-word in it, defend a pedophile multiple times, make multiple failed attempts to garner sympathy, and to delete evidence, and the list goes on and on. Also, for the record, I'm not dunking on you for being fat and autistic. Don't even try to use it as a crutch. There's no reason for you to point that out unless you wanted to garner sympathy, which you aren't getting. Jared's on the spectrum. He hasn't done any of those things that you have. In fact, he's my best fucking friend. He's someone I can truly rely on, something that you clearly lack because of the way you act and treat people. Also, if you say you rely on Whisket, you're relying on a pedophile. Once again, the screenshots. I also wanted to cover some of the comments he's responded to my comments with. I don't want to talk about everything, except for this. I've matured for the better. That's very, very ironic, considering everything he's just said about me in a very childish manner. You're weaponizing your fan base against me, not only for money, but because you can't let go of the old me. That is a very, fucking stupid thing to say. First off, I haven't had monetization since December, so no, I'm not making money off of these videos. I'm doing these because they need to happen. And also, I can't let go of the old you. I made a clear distinction to what happened previously and what's happened now. I've gained new information of what happened in those past years, so I decided to throw it in the video for clarity's sake. I also wanted to cover basically everything I needed to in one video. In the process of making this video, I've received more and more evidence throughout my time. This video was originally supposed to come out on Friday, the 1st or 2nd of May, but because of more evidence coming out and my overall mental health kind of dwindling while editing this video, I did kind of take a step back for a bit. But yeah, I did get a lot of information, and I tried to add what I thought was the most important to the case, but I have so much other supplementary information that I'll just put on screen now that supports various different stances and various different points that I've made in this video. I'll have you draw your own conclusions from it. But yeah, basically I just wanted to show all the evidence that I didn't get the chance to talk about. But I did want to mention one piece of evidence that I've yet to put into the video, and it was because I was kind of saving it for this point. I got this a couple days ago. What you're looking at now is a screenshot of Tucker basically apologizing to someone in specific. He apologizes about how he's sorry that he made someone lose almost everything and everyone, how he had a heart-to-heart with someone in a call. If you're wondering why I'm using this, basically an apology, as a piece of evidence, and I actually learned some new information from this. And also, this message is what we like to call a confession. It doesn't confirm absolutely everything, but it's the smoking gun for my big case. He has had inappropriate contact with minors when he was younger and now. And skipping through a majority of it, it's basically just him apologizing to one person, like I said earlier. He does mention the fact that he was controlling and manipulative, which I did say, and he said he grew up, which he didn't, and I said that, and he just admitted it here. Current year, he's 18, he was making sexual jokes to a 15-year-old, which he points out right at the bottom here. I'm 18 fucking years old, and she's 15. Making those sexual jokes was beyond uncalled for. And he says, and I quote, "Let's not beat around the bush. What I did was pedophilic." And he does try to salvage it by saying, even if that was never my intention, I was controlling, abusive, and downright cruel, which is all that I've been saying about him this whole time. It's what I said about him 3 years ago, and when I came back, it's what I've been saying about him now. He's claimed he wasn't. He's claimed he is not a pedophile. Right here, he makes sexual jokes with a minor when he is above the age of 18. This is as good of evidence as it gets that he has a very strange gravitational pull almost towards minors. He claims he's going to improve over time, but he clearly hasn't, because he's still an asshole, first off, because he constantly posts me on his social media, and he only stopped doing that when someone told him to stop. Whether or not he truly meant this apology is not for me to decide. It's really for the people who he's saying it to. If they want to forgive him, they can forgive him. But all this just goes to show that I was absolutely correct in my claims and using the evidence at hand. First off, admitted to making sexual jokes with a 15-year-old when he was 18, and he in himself called it pedophilic. He is stating that, not me. You're still a shitty person. You're manipulative, you're vindictive, and you claim to have matured for the better. Would a person who has, quote, matured for the better still defend a known pedophile? Still have these childish responses to people calling you out? You haven't matured. And you say it's the old you, but it's the real you. And another thing, you claim you're an adult with adult responsibilities. Bullshit. You don't have a job. You're still in school, and you say you were going to go to school after your spring break was up because you haven't been going.
My spring break ends today, and I'm going back to school on Monday. And I'm going to be sticking through till the very end. I know I kept saying that, but this time I really fucking mean it.
But then the next day, instead of going to school, you play Fortnite and talk shit. And you suck at Fortnite. Well, that's not very adult or responsible. I've been working since I was 15. My grades have only gotten better and better as the years went on. I have a 4.0 GPA. I have a girlfriend. And did I mention I'm only 17? I'm not even an adult yet, and I still act more adult and more responsible than you ever could. Also, hands off Whiskit. I'm a minor. Checkmate. This is my last video on him. Even if he tries to clap back, I won't respond. I've said all I wanted to say and proved everything I had to. And just to let you know, Tucker, you'd be prolonging this quote-unquote drama you want so desperately to end if you make another video. But I feel like you will, because you seem incapable of getting my dick out of your mouth. See you in my comment section.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father, let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man, your dad is not responsive. I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom. I'm sorry that you gotta grow up and then stand behind them. Life is hard, I know. The challenges always go beat us home. Sometimes our parents make mistakes that affect us until we grown. And you're a good kid that need good leadership. Let me be your mentor, since your daddy don't teach you shit. Never let a man piss on your leg, son. Either you die right there or pop that man in the head, son.